So the birds are already sounding alarm. If you listen to the earth will talk to you. The ground will talk to you. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're a true gardener, if you're not, start paying attention to the birds, to your surroundings, the trees, the ground, because it'll all talk to you. So it's about that time. I hear the birds. I've been hearing them for about a week now, and they are sounding that alarm. So what they're sounding is time to prepare the garden. It's time to start getting things in order. Possibility we might have an early spring, but nevertheless, it's time to prepare the garden. Well, today, guys, I'm out here in the greenhouse, and it's getting to that time of the year that everybody's starting to prepare for spring or planting some cool weather crops so they can go ahead and get into the ground. And I have here a heat mask and digital thermostat combo that I have used for the last 2 years. Now I'm so excited about this year because usually I'll have to take my plants in and out of the house when they got to a certain size, when these seedlings got to a certain size, especially when I'm trying to harden them off. But you know, you can't keep them out there, you know, for 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, and keep working it up to harden these plants off. And even when you get them hardened off, then because of the weather or frost, and you have to bring them in and out. So I'm so super excited this year that hopefully, because I love planting seedlings, I love planting plants, I love doing the gardening, and I'm loving this greenhouse. But I'm going to love it even more when I don't have to bring my plants in and out, because it can get very challenging when you're doing it, especially when you're using, I believe it's 162 cell seed trays. Seed trays that I use every year, and I got these from Haas Tools. I love them. They can get a little heavy. They're very durable. You can stand on them. You can drop them. They're not going to break. They're cost more than the cell trays that you will get at Walmart, any big box store. But these are very durable. I have dropped them. You can't hardly bend them. They're great. This is a 162 cells. I do believe it's 162 cells, or 162 cells. But anyways, you can get them smaller. But I like planting the 162 cells. Now, the good thing about these cells is that at the very bottom, it is designed so that your roots can go through. It doesn't get, you know, stuck there and wrap around each other. It can go through, and it's a good way to actually see your rooting system. And I love that, because I know when those roots start coming through, I can pretty much tell what my plant is doing. And also with this cell tray here, when it's time for planting, whether you want to plant it in your garden or upgrade to a bigger pot, a little smaller pot, maybe, you know, 4" by 4" or whatever you decide, you can take a stick or something other and poke it through there, and it helps push those little seedling plants out. So it really makes it easy for you to get them out of your seed starting tray. Now on top of that, because they're so durable, you can lift it up like that, and you're not worried about the things being so flimsy. Now, I have a couple of those flimsy little trays. Of course, it's in the tray itself at this point in time. Got these at Family Dollar. I mean, I think I paid 30 cents or 50 cents for them, 25 cents, something. And I'm sorry, I had to jump on it. They were smaller, and I got some lettuce planted in there, but they're really flimsy. They're not going to last a long time, but I figured for that price, what do I have to lose? The reason I planted in these, I got two sets of them. I actually got more than that, but 2 sets planted right now, is because when it comes to lettuce, you really, if you're like, you know, a greenhouse or your garden, most of the time people don't plant a whole lot of lettuce. I love planting lettuce. I planted it for the last 2 years. This year was phenomenal into the greenhouse. I was able to plant more, and it was so delicious. But these cells are flimsy. They're not going to last. About dropped it. They're not going to last a lifetime, because And the reason I about dropped it because they are flimsy, but they work. They do work, but I do still like the Haas tool trays. They do come smaller. The good thing I like about these is that what I do is I might plant like 3 rows of collards, 3 rows of broccoli, 3 rows of cauliflower, and so on. And then I take a little wooden stick and I stick it in there, I label it, I put the date on it when I planted these seeds, so I'll know exactly how well they are doing. And it just works out really great. The thing of it is, if your plants get too big, then it starts getting crowded, but usually that's when I upgrade to a bigger pot. And maybe 4x4, 5x5, or whatever you have. I mean, whatever you got, it'll work. So today, since usually I plant my seedlings inside the house, but usually that's like tomatoes, bell pepper plants, squash, and all that. It's not quite time to plant those because we're into January. I usually save my box. It makes it easy storage. It keeps it, you know, well taken care of. And so when I'm done with this, I just wipe it off and store it back up. But today, since I've got some lettuce planted, and my excited heart here is ready to put plants in here and grow them in the greenhouse and not tote them in and out. I'm just like an enthusiastic right this second. But this heat mat comes with a temperature control. It comes with a temperature control. It has a little thermostat on the end with a suction cup that you will stick inside your tray on the side so it will keep the right temperature. Here with this heat mat, it also tells you, if I can get it rolled out, it also tells you the temperatures of the plants that you might be trying to grow, and it tells you the optimal temperature on there. And so this is good for actually for the rooting system. It keeps that part of that tray warm so that your seeds will go ahead and germinate and start growing faster. And I'm telling you, it works. Now, the size on this is 48 by 20.75. So it really is a pretty big. It works great with these 162 cells trays. A little bit left over, but it gives it the right amount. Would I order another of these? Yes, I would. I would definitely order one of these. I just love it. I just like it, the fact that I'm not concerned about, is the temperature right? Now, since it's out in the greenhouse, I think that'd even be more valuable, because when I had this in the house with my seedlings starting to grow, I had a grow light hanging down. So, and it was a little tough, but it got the job done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to lay this down here on this section of this bed that I have boards over it. And right now I'm going to plug this up, and I'm going to put these little seed trays on there that's thinner. You know, and you got to watch your temperature. You don't want to over dry your seeds. You want it to stay moist. You don't want to overdo it with the water, because then you can create fungus, you know, a type of disease. I mean, you don't want to go ahead and start your plants off or your seedlings off wrong. You want them to start it off right. Dealing with these little tiny seeds, then that means that, you know, they can go too deep, or maybe they get splashed out. I'm a gardener, you know, gardener at heart. Get excited when it's seed time. Like this morning, I went in there just to get 2 packs of seeds, and I found out I'm walking out with a box of seeds. Will I plant all of those? No, but my heart got happy, and these are my options. That's why you want to grow, and you can get to a point you save your own seeds, study up on that, on how to save seeds. I might do a video on that, because I have a lot of seeds I've saved. It saves you money. Grow your plants. Do it this way, and you would not believe the amount of plants that you will get and the amount of money you will save. And we're desperately in a time period that we need to save money. And so once I learned this trick, I'm like, oh, it's on now. It's on. So let me lay this mat down and get it plugged up, and then I'll show you the rest of it. So I hope the exhaust fan didn't kind of drown out my voice. I forgot it was even on. So this is the mat stretched out. And there is the Homestead seed tray, 162 cells. Okay, so this right here shows you all the plants that you possibly might be trying to grow seedlings with. Broccoli, basil, cabbage. I'm just going to hit a few. Lettuce, parsley, peppers. Let's see. Tomatoes, squash, spinach, and so on. But it also gives you the approximate days of germination of temperature. So it may vary due to the type of fruit or vegetable that you will be growing, but the optimal temperature should be around 70 to 85 degrees. This is your thermostat, and you see where it has heating, power, and it gives you the temperature right now. So in actuality, the temperature in here is probably about I don't know why I said 162. Thank God it's not. But 63 degrees, even though it's laying on this mat. It just got turned on. So I'm going to now take and set one of these trays over here, and then we're going to put this suction cup on there. And I'm going to take these trays and set them in that tray. And the reason of that is because I want this to stick in there and give me the right temperature. Now, could it work here? It probably could, but, you know, I want to do it the right way. Now, really, you could probably figure it out. You could probably just take, you know, any kind of container and set these in and just stick that to it, and it would work. But this is what I'm going to do today. So let me set these trays over here and set those in there, and then we'll be on our way for these plants to start germinating. So as you can see, these are really flimsy. They're wet, and so you have to be really careful. Originally I was going to just leave them in this tray, but I think I just want to make sure my temperature's right. I'm just going to do it this way. If I need to move them, then I can place them back in this tray. Like these little things do break apart. You do have to watch your little thermostat that you stick to the side of your tray. You do have to watch it to make sure it doesn't fall off. Now I'm just trying to figure out which way I want to put them. The reason I'm doing it this way to show you how flimsy these are and how durable the ones from Homestead are. They're just super, super great. Never have to worry about, you know, my trays just like falling and everything's just messed up. I don't have to worry about that. I don't know if I can get this last one over here. We're going to try it. And believe me, these little flimsy trays right this, yeah, it can happen. So that's not going to quite work. So what I'm going to do is just slide it in the middle right here. And so now I am ready for these seeds to start to germinate. I have to watch them. I don't want my seeds to dry out. If you let your little seeds and seedlings dry out, you're pretty much doomed with that. So the thing of it is, let's see. This lettuce, it says that it should take about 3 days with it on this mat. That's why I want to put it on this mat. Now, it might take a little bit longer for these seeds to pop up. It depends on how, you know, if they went too deep or whatever. But the good thing about this mat is telling you how many days. So you won't be sitting there, okay, are the seeds working? Are they not working? So like spinach, 5 to 6 days. Tomatoes, it says 6 days. What else? Basil, 5 to 7 days. Broccoli, 7 days. So it gives you that option there to know, yeah, because everybody's like, okay, are these seeds any good? Are they not any good? Are they coming up? Did I plant them wrong? Or da-da-da-da-da. This way, you kind of have a general idea. I have a general idea of about these seeds right here. Now, I know that sometimes that it takes longer for seeds to come up than others. And especially if you're using pellet seeds, because that little stuff that's around the seed, that whole little clay stuff that holds the seed in there, sometimes that has to deteriorate before the seeds comes up. But I do know this: after a certain time period, then I should start seeing some seeds pop up. And if no seeds pop up, then I say, okay, I need to replant again. This gives you the option of not wasting your time, especially when you want to get your seeds going. And I put my seed starting mix in there. I wet it really good, because the seed starting mix, if you have it all in the cells right here, once you water it, it doesn't like really soak it up really fast. You have to water it, then let it soak in, and water it, let it soak in. I prefer to have my seed starting mix really wet, so that I know that in the middle that it's wet, so that these seeds can start germinating. Now, the thing of it is, what I like about this mat, it being as big as it is, I like to have another one, or one a little bit smaller to go down there, because I always find I end up planting a lot of seeds. So, yeah, I like to have another one, or one a little bit smaller to go on this end down here. But what I like about it, you see, if I had this tray right here, this Homestead tray filled up, 162 cell tray filled up with seeds, then I have on the outside, I could have placed these little seed trays right here on the side. I could have worked it in. I could have moved it back or forth, and I could have worked those seed trays in. Or if you have them planted in like 4x4s, you can work that in. And that's what I like about having this length of a heating mat and these cell trays, is because it really works out the best for me if you're a grower. Now, 162 cells. If all those plants germinate and all those plants come up, can you imagine how much money you have saved if you had to go to the big box store and say you buy one of these little trays right here? They're 6 cell. I think they're 6 cells now. I don't really buy them, but I've looked at them. You know, say there's 6 cells, and you're paying $5. Can you imagine? Say for example, if they were selling these $4 or $5 a tray, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you figure up 12 times $5. Just say round it off to $5. You know, and then you figure that up. You see how much money you have spent to get these little plants, this little amount of plants, and maybe this will be enough for you. How much money you spent. And then if you bought one of these trays, that could be a lifetime. Plus, you got to buy these trays right here every year, about $2.50 a piece, plus tax. At least that's what it was, even though I didn't pay that. You see how much money. What I'm trying to show you here, the point is, planting your own seeds, growing your own seedlings, getting your own trays, whether it's from Homestead or another company, having a heat mat, doing this, investing the money. I think this heat mat might have been like $40. I'm not sure if it was even that much at that time. So, say $40. The trays, I don't remember how much it was, because I got 5 trays, 5 or 6 of these with the sales. So I don't remember how much it was. I think you can get less. And then however you do this, if you do these trays, you're getting pretty much consistent. You might get 2 seasons out of them. You might, if you're careful with them, you might go for a little bit. But nevertheless, you're going to eventually end up buying. Invest a little bit of money the right way. Grow your own seeds and save money for long term to be self-sufficient. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. And, yeah, leave a thumbs up anyhow, because YouTube's got this algorithm, this type of rhythm they got going on. I might not be saying that word right, but you have to have so many, you have to get likes, you have to get comments, you have to subscribe. Or a lot of my videos are just sitting there because I'm guilty. I watched plenty of videos and not commented, didn't really think much about it. But yeah, every plant that you see in this greenhouse, if you look at my past videos, every plant, even the potatoes, seed potatoes from my previously planted potatoes, every plant in this greenhouse has been grown starting with a seed trays, and getting the seed mix. Let me see if I can get this over here. I've got one sitting right here. This one I haven't used. It's a little wet, so it's a little heavy. But a bag of this. You know, you want to start your seeds right. So this is a seed starting mix. This says 3-in-1. I haven't used it yet. It doesn't matter what kind you get. I just got this because of the price. Actually, the price was like, say, one thing on the sticker, and then when I got the checkout, it was $1 higher. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this I hear it says such and such, and I just got rang up for this. So, but just making this a little bit of investment and planning your own stuff, you know, and then not on accounting that, can you imagine how much money you have saved once you harvest broccoli? Once I harvest from this broccoli and I've got a couple dollars in a pack of seeds, it's a win-win. It is a win-win situation. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching so much. And now I am going to probably plant some more seeds. I got tons of seeds I want to plant. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on to the next video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Tell me if you've ever did seedlings before. Have you ever tried to plant with seeds? Do you have seed trays? Where do you get your seed trays? How did it play out for you? Help us out, all of us out here in YouTube land, because people look at the comments. And they look at the comments because they're trying to learn. They want to know. They want to see the variety of options that might work for them. This might not work for you, but somebody else might have a comment that might work for somebody else. Because it's not all about Never Alone Homestead. It's about the community of YouTube land. It's that time again. It's seed starting time for some seeds. It's not planting time, but you could, in your region, start to plant potatoes, garden peas. So, good thing about doing this now, before it's planting time, it gives a chance for the ground to rest, and it gives a chance for this grass that's grown to be smothered out. So I'm going to continue on throughout this garden and getting it tilled up, and so it'll be ready for planting. I've already put some lime throughout the garden in December, so they can sit there for a little bit. We have had rains. I've also put hot ash from the wood stove. My garden always loves that, so I've been spreading it out throughout the garden. Anyways, I got this part done. Got some things to do in the greenhouse, but my next step is right now is to well, I took most of this fence down right here that did help to keep the deer out, but most of it's down right now. But we've got this cold coming in tonight, so I would like to go ahead and go through here and try to plant some potatoes. I've got probably 20 pounds of seed potatoes from last year's garden. So anyways, this is my next step. I'm going to go in there and try to plant some potatoes. Well, I just got finished pulling some carrots. I've been eating off this bed for a while now. These are fall carrots, and it did really well, except I've got to move this bed because back there is not getting enough sunlight. It's getting it right here, and as we're progressing into winter, definitely not getting enough sunlight. And when I put these beds here, I moved them from the other homestead. It was summertime, and I forgot about the sun. So we've got some nice carrots here. I think we did very, very well. I don't know if you can see if I can get to see that. The sun just moved, but it's starting to go down. So we got some Very nice carrots here. I just pulled them up. You know, nice size ones. I went ahead and pulled some smaller ones up. So that's not bad for, you know, growing carrots. I went ahead and tried to pull as much as I can pull up of the smaller ones because I need to move this bed. It's just not doing, I'm trying to get with the sun. It's just not doing, like it did good, but there's just not enough sunlight here. So carrots need sun, of course. Most vegetables do. I got my garlic bed moved over here. I did move it up some, noticing when I was planting the garlic in November that there was not enough sunlight, and I moved the bed up. Still don't think it's going to be enough sunlight, but this bed has definitely got to be moved up because it's just not going to get enough sunlight. It's creating the carrots to be slow growing, and that's not what I need. They're good, but slow growing. And they did come out, you know, really a nice size. I can't complain about the sizes of these carrots at all. They're really nice. Like I said, I tried to pull some small ones up and, you know, try to get this bed cleared out as much as possible. So growing carrots is really easy. I did a video on how to, I think it's grow carrots or plant carrot seeds or something like that. I think how to grow carrots. So check that out in my playlist. I love growing carrots. My granddaughter loves, children love to come out here and pull the carrots. And it's really nice to be able to come out here and pull you some fresh carrots. Don't have to pull all of them. Just pull some fresh carrots for a salad or for a meal. And so it's really nice. And I put these beds here because it's not far from the kitchen. And so that's another thing. You don't want it too far because you might want to come out and get some garlic. You might want to come out and pull some carrots. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Just want to show you the carrot bed. I haven't shown it since I put it up, I don't think. But anyways, just want to let you know, you can grow some carrots. These are bows I put over at the last homestead. So when I put the bed up, I just put the bows over it. Now, we had a frost freeze that came through, storm came through, and I did put the plastic over these. And I think I usually do. If it's going to be like, you know, especially if they're growing, I'll take some plastic and put it on top of them to help them out so they won't get, you know, killed or frostbit too much. Now, these carrots actually froze, but they bounce back, and that's the amazing thing about carrots. They're cold-heartedly, they'll bounce back, they're easy to grow. These right here need to be thinned out. I did try to pull some of them out because they just, they grow so fast. When they take off, they start growing really fast, and so I've been trying to pull a few out of these little plants out because I know it's too many. It's not that it won't grow, it's just that it's not going to grow big carrots. So this is my little technique of trying to thin out my carrots here so the rest of them can start growing and I can get some more carrots. Well, that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching, and see you on to the next video. Yep, so you know what I'll be doing, washing carrots, and usually I can carrots, and there's definitely enough here to be able to can, and that's probably, oh, I know what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to freeze dry these carrots. So yeah, that will be the thing, to freeze dry the carrots. I've only did it one time. It worked out great. And so that will be the thing I'm going to do with these carrots, freeze dry them. Okay guys, thank you so much, and see you on to the next video.